Alright, welcome back to another episode of Game Crafters, where I am disappointed, depressed, and have found solutions for my disappointment and depression. Not something many people can say, but man, there are some things and aggravations that occur in Subnautica episode 40, so yeah, look forward to that. But for now, if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more. So, you see what I'm doing here? I could do that if I want to. You can't do that in Subnautica, no. That's not possible, not unless you get mods, of course. I found the solution, though. I found the solution, and it's the solution that we have got, and there's not much I can really say. I am mentally drained from that aggravation. I tried to find a different fix. That didn't really work out too well, especially considering the fact that a lot of nonsense occurred. I don't know what I missed out. I probably didn't, because I don't want to really spoil it too much, but things happen, stuff occurred, 30 minutes of progress kind of wasted on trying to get stupid freaking... It's fine. I have found the solution. I have lifted some annoyances. So it should be good, right? Theoretically, there shouldn't be too much of anything going wrong here, but this will at the very least allow me to do things that I have been wanting so badly to do. And it also makes me wonder if I should go out of my way to try to get other things. Oh yeah, there's probably a few other things that I can get my hands on, and I would very much like to get my hands on. Oh man, my disappointment that day, or today really, because it happened like 2 hours ago, I think. I don't remember. So much time was spent trying to freaking figure out how to get Nexus mod stuff to work. I do hope that in Subnautica 2, I've said this in the episode, I'll say it again, there's no restrictions. Or at the very least, there's so little restrictions. I don't care if it doesn't make any sense for me to put a chair inside a chair. If I want to put a chair inside a chair, let me put a chair inside a chair. Even though I have no reason to do so for my current sets of builds. I don't know. There are some things that I want to do that the game just won't allow me. So I've decided, you know what? Screw vanilla. I want to build this thing, I'm going to build it this way. I'm not going to cheat my way into the resources. That is obviously going to be the usual pain of having to collect resources, but other than that, I want to build there. I want to build where I want to build. So... you're gonna, unless you're not, watching the Subnautica series, you're about to see me break down and go bananas, wondering why, and who the hell hurt them to have this be so restricted. Could you imagine I'm not able to place this here? Even though I don't really care for this being here because it makes more sense for this to be here. But the option of me being able to place that there is there, and that's good. I know I technically don't need to complain about it now. It makes more sense to complain about it in Subnautica, but... yeah, no, I want to complain. I'm not waiting a whole week to complain about the building restrictions. It's not funny. It's very aggravating. I want to build what I want to goddamn build, and you're not going to stop me from my objective. Oh god, somebody's playing music. I hope this is not picking it up. If it is, I'm going to probably have to mute this so this doesn't, even though it doesn't matter at this point because I'm not getting any ad revenue. This is the problem with recording at this time, even though it's only 8:35 p.m. there's a good chance that there are people playing their music, blasting it, blaring it for no reason other than to just be a nuisance to the neighborhood and whatnot. But I think we're good. It's like or something like that. You probably heard it. Though it's probably like because when I was looking at the end screen for one of the episodes, I heard what sounded like a muffled car sound, and I don't remember if a car was blaring in the background. Because obviously, why would I remember that? That was 2 days ago, and I had work that I had to be dealing with. So yeah, I mean, if it fucking whatever, it's fine. See, that's our only restrictions, Z-planing. But that makes sense. That's just the limitations of certain things at play here that we can't really do much with. Though, well, I don't think the mod that I have is going to fix that one issue. You know the one issue, right? The one where I can't place signs in a certain spot. That issue, yeah, that one. Okay, that works, I suppose. Also, can't believe I'm still working on this. Makes sense. I'm trying to, like, get this area finished so I can move on to, No, you fucking idiot. Oh my god, can't you just... Why? Can I make these bigger? Probably. So yeah, we got Nexus mods installed. I tried using the Thunderstore, but apparently that's not updated at all. Or at the very least, I didn't get the things necessary to make it work. So, whatever, I figured out a solution for my problem, and now we won't have to worry about that anymore until another problem arises in terms of building. I would say it's necessary. If I want to do certain things, like put foundations on top of foundations, then by God, I'm doing it. You're not stopping me, game. And that was the problem. We couldn't place the foundations above things, and the idea that I had in mind was being ruined. So I decided to remove a game mechanic that really shouldn't exist in building. Even if it's not like the main focus, building is still heavily important in the game. And having a nice looking base be ruined because, oh, red hologram of death or whatever the hell it's called, is very frustrating. And I'm going to let out my frustrations despite, the problem now being fixed. And we no longer have to worry about that with the suppress of the letter G. Doesn't have the same ring to it as E. Or the E key. No, we have now the G key. And technically the T key, but I don't know exactly what that's for. The thing I'm using it for mostly is the G key. I'm just glad that there is a fix that somebody thought, yes, let's fix this, and that there's an obvious updated mod version of it that we can still use, because that would suck if it wasn't updated. It's 2025 updated, so that's great. I don't know why they abandoned the Thunderstore though. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I got it to work, and that's all that matters. The only thing that matters is that I figured out how to make it work, and now... we could do whatever the hell we want without having to worry about restrictions. And also, I mean, we could have probably, do the whole episode over again. But the whole point of that is to see the pain and frustration, to see the whole reasoning, my 13th reason, wherever the hell that was from, to finally just go and get the mods. No other mods outside of the ones necessary to make modding possible. Literally just building tweaks to allow me to place the foundation where I want to place it. And I tested it, and it does show green. So, great. I don't know if that would break anything. I can't imagine it would. But I'm just glad to finally have the problem solved. Okay, I think I've done just about as much as I can do here. I don't know if there's anything more I can do up here. I need to be able to get to these areas to be able to see. So I need to... First of all, I need to decorate... See, okay, I could have just gone through this without decorating this entire island. And then as soon as I get to new areas, we decorated it. I also need to do something with this. I just need to... I don't know what I need to do. I'm just... tired, Captain. So very tired. What I gotta do is get a couple of drawings done with, basically. I got a Jinx drawing that will already have been finished. I can get that one pretty much set up and ready to go, no problem. All I gotta do is the background, and at the time that this is posted, it's already posted tonight on the Sunday, which is right here. It's a hardcore mature drawing, by the way. Wondering how the hell that's gonna work? You spend $10 and see. I'm not gonna explain it to you. You don't believe me that it works? Then just see. There has been some instances where it has worked out quite well for what it is that the character is being made to create stuff with. So if it worked, it worked. Then aside from that, I gotta work on Chrome Wars, which theoretically shouldn't be too difficult to get done with quickly enough, but you never know. Stuff takes a lot longer to get done with than you think originally, and then you're kind of just left with a bunch of things that you need to get done with that you can't get done with on time. But shouldn't take that much time because I have a whole week off. I don't know. Though I will say I found some chicken cordon bleu at my ShopRite. They just moved it for some reason. Although I don't know if that's recently placed there, so it probably was. I need trees now. No, trees. Tall tree P2 is what I need. Though I think this is supposed to be here, right? Yeah, because this makes up most of this area here. No problem. I don't think this is going to get in the way. There's not a whole lot that I can really do here. I need to make more decorations. Well, I suppose I can get some rocks placed around, can I not? I don't know, I'm so drained. I'm drained of all mental energy. Well, what more is there to talk about right now? Let me think. With the vacation week, we're going to be trying to get done with Terraria Nukem Edition in one fell sweep. However, that needs to be said. Because I want to be able to get to work on, certain things. Like Nova Guardians and this. But I can't do that if I'm stuck constantly trying to get thumbnails made and complex drawings made that requires a lot more time than I have to get them done with. So trying to get past all of that is a good idea. At the very least, I say it's a good idea. Yep, hopefully we can manage. Got a nice little mountain piece here. These are weird mountain pieces because you can tell that they look like prefabs. But also, without having to go through the whole song and dance of creating each and every single one of these individually, it's so much easier to do this like this. Still shows the mountains as they are meant to be shown. And we can still have the mountains kind of be inside so long as there are no Z-planing or whatever Z-fighting is called. The word of which I'm trying to come up with. So you can have some nice little things like that just jutting out of the ground. Hell, even the mountain spikes. We could do a smaller one, but cancel. Where the hell are you? I need you to be here. Oh god, everything lagged for a second. Well, I was kind of frozen myself, so I guess it's fine. Right, OBS? Man. This has been such a tiring day. Also didn't help that I'm tired in general right now, so it's kind of just a whole lot of nonsense to worry about and deal with. Oh, of course you're fucking fighting here. Anyways, I really wish I had something to say about everything that I have to say and talk about and whatnot. I guess what I could talk about is the fact that I'm excited that Borderlands 2 finally started up. Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2 are the two games that I have played pretty much extensively throughout my, I wouldn't say childhood, I would say teenhood, though is that still technically considered childhood? I played it multiple times, played it as multiple characters and whatnot. The pre-sequel is like, I've played it a good few times, but not to the same extent as 1 or 2. Same thing applies with... Actually, no, same thing doesn't apply with 3. Granted, I did kind of play as, I think, Moses for a little bit, but then I just went back to Flak, and that's all I did. I didn't really do anything else. And I guess same thing applied with Tina's Wonderland, which I do have plans on doing that. I just don't know when. I would say maybe after 3, and then when we 4, and when we complete 4, that can be in like the playthrough 2 slot, assuming that 4 has a playthrough 2. I don't see why it would not. Also, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, well, needless to say, it's all the games I played recently, replayed multiple times. I guess if you wanted to count Resident Evil 9, since I technically played that 3 times. First time I played Standard Modern, I think it's called, where it was a pain in the ass, especially on the controller. But I managed. Then I did I think, Standard Classic. Like, we know the game a bit better now. We can probably play Standard again, but with the limited save, so we don't save too much. See how quickly we can beat the game. Little did I know, Standard Classic was technically hard mode. But it's only hard mode, like, because of the difficulty directory being like 4 to 8 instead of 3 to 7, I think it is. So I probably said this before, but I'll say it again. Difficulty 3 basically means that enemies do 3 times the amount of damage. But Insanity is like 3 point 6, I think it was. I don't remember exactly. So, yeah, that is something right there to think about, I suppose. Well, I do have an idea. I have a poison tank that I didn't really save as a structure. I probably should have saved. I'm going to make a poison tank here. Why not? There's no reason not to. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, we basically did pretty much that again. And as an achievement cleanup, kind of, we went into casual mode to get the rest of the achievements. Beat the game in 4 hours. Beat the game without healing or using healing items. Beat the game without using the blood injector. And then we did the secret puzzle thing, which I obviously was in no way in hell going to go out of my way to figure out what the hell that was. Also, this is not in the right direction. I don't have the time for something like that, so I'm perfectly fine with just having the answer given to me and just doing the answer. So I did that and still had enough time to spare going into the end of the game. And now the only thing left is insanity mode, which I feel like I could probably get done with quickly since I now know how to speedrun the game, but I also need to get stuff done with. I gotta focus on my projects. Also, you are in the wrong spot. You need to be here. These projects are obviously very important. Getting them done with makes it so I don't have to worry about them and all that stuff. That's why I'm trying to get Game Crafters recorded right here and now instead of having to worry about it, you know, whenever. Anyways, I'm just... that's the recent one. I would say that probably didn't help me very much in getting stuff done with. Obviously, clearly didn't. Though I didn't take the vacation because of the lack of what you call it. It's just car. Car is in shop right now. And that's all I'll say for the time being. Because I'm just going to get angry again having to remember the existence of certain types of drivers. And when I say certain type of drivers, I mean a particular type of vehicle. Talking about truckers. Shouldn't have to relay to you how much I hate truckers. They're the bane of my existence. Of everyone's existence, really. Especially the area where I am at. Forget about it. They might as well be on a warpath with how careless and reckless they are. Ugh, my neck. So yeah, no, needless to say, I'm not exactly thrilled about the aggravations known as truckers. And I'm sure there are good truckers out there. But I despise all of you right now for many reasons. You've totaled Minion 77's car, which thankfully for him, he can afford the losses. He can afford to get a new car. Probably not by that much. I don't know how much money he makes compared to, say, a Markiplier, but I'm not exactly going to pry onto that any more than most people would. It's this. Yeah, no, it's Z-Playing. I should have figured. Needless to say, I hate trucks. They suck. I despise them. I'm finding it harder and harder to find anything to be happy about. That's not my creations, my cat, and I guess my games. I mean, I have made enough progress to where it looks like some amount of weight has definitely been lost. Not in the bulge of the gut, but at the very least the sides of it, and especially this part right here. If you can even see it, the part where my rib is, right here, feels very toned in that section. Of course, most of what I have done is focused entirely on that part of the body, as well as my legs. Oh my god, my legs are so toned. For lack of a better sentence, I feel like I'm not washing my own ass in the shower. I feel like I'm washing someone else's ass. Hey, there's a Wade mannerism for you. Remember those? Oh man, imagine Wade worked out and, got a more toned leg and toned ass and all that stuff. And he would go on ahead and tell all of the Twitch audience that, man, while I'm in the shower, I feel like I'm washing someone else's ass. And then JP would be like, boom, boom, or, oh man, get on that, Wade. It would be funnier if he did it. I think. I mean, he would be the one who could deliver it a hell of a lot better than the others in that group, I suppose. Prove me wrong. If you somehow manage to catch your eyes on this, which would surprise me. Not many people are watching the Game Crafter episodes, which makes sense. It's me making a game and talking about stuff. It's like a pseudo art time where I create something and I talk about my gripes and whatnot. That's basically what it's become. The only difference is there's potential game elements if I, make a level and not make the zone for several thousand episodes. Either way, the gains are working, and thankfully, I got one of these, which is getting a lot easier to do now, but I still need the gloves because the texture on this is just not good on my hands. I'm going to try to at least keep up with my sets throughout the week. Not the weekends. The weekends are meant to be rest time. For the obvious reason of we've done a lot of... How many did we do so far? Because this week we had a freaking Saturday not last week. We had a freaking Saturday to work and a freaking 4 hours to work because of nonsense that occurred because things are too coincidental and too... God, I wish I can figure out the words I want to say for this. Like I said, it feels like it's too much of a coincidence to not feel like it's on purpose or not on purpose. Something along the lines of that. You try to fill in the blanks. I don't know. It's like life is actively trying to find ways to ruin my plans and ruin my ability to do the things that I want to do. Am I the only one that gets that? I feel like this should probably be here instead. I move rock here. I move the poison tank up here. And boom. So this way you can at least see the poison tank and you're like, oh, there's something about this poison area that is a bit strange and that we should probably go and take care of. You can. If you can figure out what the solution is for that, then you get your ass over to here. And like I said, I'm focusing on the areas that we can work on. Like, for example, we could probably put a nice big mountain here. Like so. Anyways, I'm still going to keep up my workout process. I do find it a bit, strange. Certain things and certain people. I guess the best way I can enter into this thought process is, There are... Oh, for fuck's sakes. You know what? I'm moving you. There are certain, I guess you would call them lol cows. If you don't know what those guys are, I don't know the definition. I'm not the gatekeeper of them. Go ask Jackson from the other channel. He's doing something about Boogie and the red thread thingy. Yeah, go ask him. He's more of an expert on lol cows than I am. I'm just watching something just to have something on in the background, really, at this point. Also, I don't think I put block... Wait, no. My neck. It's fine. I don't remember who, saying that I've done everything I can to work out and I'm just not losing weight. Brother, I'm not done any diets. All I did was incorporated exercise routine. And I'm over here having lost 20 pounds within the span of a year. Yeah, it's short, but if I lose 20 pounds in a year, then another year pass, I'll be close to 230 or so. And then another year, 210. Not only that, but I'm not staying stagnant. If I feel like I'm not making much progress, guess what? I add more workout routines. It's not that complex. Granted, you kind of have to like the idea of being exhausted, I guess. And I guess I'm kind of a masochist to some extent, so that probably helps out. Unlike some people who don't admit to it, I do admit that I am a little bit in that department. Especially with what I'm into. If you've seen the things that I draw, then you know damn well what I am into. The point I'm trying to make here is that my case is kind of different, I suppose. In favor of not gaining the ire and the wrath of them, though I would say if you want to find a solution to your problem, develop masochistic traits, I guess. Might help. What more do you got to lose, really? I would argue being a masochist is first. There's that. I wonder if that's the... I'm never going to remember to look up the thing. But I wonder if this is the thing that we heard in that... I heard in that one thing. Yeah, there they go, driving. Was that what I heard before? I don't know who the hell's car is doing that. It's so unnecessarily loud. At 9 o'clock p.m., by the way, on a Sunday, but I mean, people do need to go to work early, so, you know, it's like, I don't know, I'm not too focused on that right now. The room doesn't matter. Also, this is not going to work. I suppose we could probably start putting some of these trees in the back then. Where are we? I need you to get the hell out of my face. An oak tree? I mean, I guess... Oak tree seems like a fine thing to put here, at least. Also, I did not make this oak tree P1 or anything. I don't know why I mean, do I plan on making another oak tree? Move the branch a bit, I suppose. How much time is left? 26 minutes. Thinking about maybe having chicken cordon bleu for dinner. Either I'm going to have spicy nacho Doritos as a side, or the sweet spicy chili Doritos, whatever the hell it's called. Purple bag or magenta bag? Call it. Even though the magenta bags nearly ran out. Which, by the way, the spicy Doritos is not really all that spicy. The purple bag one is the spiciest of them all. Well, I would say the barbecue is pretty much close. Whatever the hell it was called, the black bag. but I don't really know. I don't know why. It's just something I like for some reason. I'm not really actively trying to find spicy foods, but I can tolerate it to some extent. Not like most white people, I have some spice tolerance. I've eaten blue takis normally before, and those are pretty spicy. Though I'm not one actively going out of my way to get hot sauce. The things that I eat the most in dip sense is ketchup mixed with Sweet Baby Ray's. That's a nice sweet dipping sauce mixed with ketchup. I remember I used to have ketchup and mayonnaise as a dip multiple times, but I've switched over to barbecue sauce. And man, oh man, is it good. Oh, and there's another thing. Hold on. Let me show you real quick. This thing, right here. Cadillac. This thing right here. Good. Also, if you save the sauce. Also, I should probably hurry it up before the cat steps on the keyboard. Don't look at me, cat. If you save the sauce, for the most part, you can use that for, say, chicken cutlets, hamburgers. Just drape it on with your salt, garlic powder, paprika, soy sauce, and you've got quite an interesting concoction of flavors mixed together into a burger or a chicken cutlet or anything really. It just makes me wonder if because I also have ham steaks, but I don't. I meant that. That's fine. Although I could probably text him right now and. Well, I'll get my answer at some point. Probably not until tomorrow. Oh, wait, no, he's not coming into work tomorrow. Never mind, I might get my answer soon. Also, what am I... I'm selecting this. What am I... What's the objective here? Rocks? Ruins? I mean, having a few ruin structures here to kind of give you an idea as to what you are about to come across, I suppose, is a good idea. While not being entirely ruin-based, this at the very least having some ruins here to give you an idea on what it is you're about to get yourself into. Because this is supposed to be the ruined forest that you're going into soon. Which is clearly going to be, ruins and whatnot. All right, where are you at? I'll put you somewhere over here. Actually, no. How about over here? Wait a minute. Did I forget this? Well, no problem. I can fix this right now. 15. Sure. That works. Which means I could probably put this somewhere over to here and this won't be too much in the way, right? And that might be in the way. This also might be in the way, so let me move this a little bit and let me try to move this in here-ish. Having some of these here makes kind of sense, I suppose. Palm trees in the central area here. I mean, I could put whatever the hell I want here, really. But I still want to have some rhyme and reasoning to the creation of all of this. We could probably put this like here. The thing is, I don't even know if you're going to see this. Oh, I got a text. Okay, I'll just screenshot that. I might be able to do something with that and the ribs, but I'm going to have to get the ribs all set up and ready to go and whatnot. Let's... where the hell am I at right now? Here, right? I mean, obviously, yeah, that was placed right here. Put the rock right there. And, more rocks right here. Spike. And I will probably make you go 90 degrees, no, 270 degrees here. Ish. I'm not sure. There's not really a lot of places I can put decorations here. I fix my view a bit, so I'm here. I guess we could put some bushes. What space do we have to work with right here? Well, we're getting closer to this area that we're going to have these trees in mostly. I don't exactly have a plan for what each area is going to have tree-wise. Obviously, I need more trees than this. Though I suppose having this area also have these bits of trees here is a good idea. Basically, it just allows us to have more decoration types to work with and have spread around the place. After all, why shouldn't we have these decoration blocks placed around the place? Provided there's no things that are going to be a problem here. Might be able to maybe put one of these here if I can rotate this in a very specific manner. What rotation do I have will allow me to do that, though? Oh! Like a glove! Look at that strange-looking bush. I mean, what more can I really do for bushes when I'm using only black and white? God, why does my brain not remember what the hell this level was? It forgot it for a second, but it's there again. That was weird. I'm like, wait, what was this level again? It looks ruin-like, and that was kind of the plan, I think, but... you know, it's fine. We'll put some ruin... That's not where you're supposed to be. We'll put some ruined walls here. Now... to which then I will put you here. And then I will rotate you 180 degrees in that direction. Yeah, I will say the ham steaks were never really my most favorite. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of the fact that ham feels a lot more fattier. So I'm wondering, with my new knowledge in cooking and seasoning and whatnot, could I make it better? But would I want to... I mean, you at least try it once, I suppose. The thing. If we try it once and see if it makes it even better. Supposedly those are pretty cheap too, because I think I saw one at ShopRite for like, what, $4 was it? I don't know. Also, a lot of noise is happening downstairs in the apartment below. Someone dropped something. The cat perked up and was like nothing too big. She just moved her head and is now looking like this. Oh, with arms like that and her head like... Is that the right direction? No, you're looking like this. What are you looking at, cat? You hear noises downstairs? And the apartments below? And don't you wear a Cadillac. Alright. Well, here, this much I at the very least know is going to be mostly just trees and ruins. Assuming I put this in the right slot. Kind of makes sense. It is supposed to be more like ruins. Oh god, lag. Why? Why lag? Well, if that's the case, I should probably put some... Is that a problem? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, I know that is a problem. Maybe I put you here. Where am I? Oh, I see where I'm at now. Maybe I put you here? Okay, that's a million times better. Even so, you should probably be closer to the edge. That probably could have fixed up a lot of issues. I really should make another ruined wall here, shouldn't I? I'm going to make more ruined pieces when I get to the ruined forest, but I really should think about getting these ruins properly set up. Let me see. Is this going to be a problem or is this fine? Seems fine. Could probably put this here. Do the same thing with this, but go in the opposite direction. That's not the right one. This is what I want. What we could do with this is have these be like this. So it's not all the same, you know? Bring that down and that should be fine. Some nice ruined walls here. Yep, there's a plane. Why is there a plane? No clue. It just exists up there in the sky for some reason. Don't matter. 990. 270. I mean, if you saw what that one area looked like, then this, having pretty much all of these looking like this, makes the most sense. I do think this being like this is a good idea. Basically just showcases the entire area being mostly trees and ruins. I mean, I suppose here we could probably have some ruined structures. I might have an idea on how I plan to go about doing the, what you call it, though, but I'm not sure yet. Also, how much time do I have left? 10 minutes, so we still got time. Perks of having pretty much all the time in the world now, thanks to not having to worry about work for a bit. Which is great. I want to get this stuff done with sooner, so I have to get my ass into gear and start working on things. Obviously. You should probably start going down a bit more. Alright, I thought I select you, but apparently I did not. Oh, also, I guess this is the next area here, huh? Right. Well, you can go here then. Again, I don't know how much it really matters. I mean, I guess there's reasons for me to worry about that not being where it needs to be. And make this one a 90. I mean, who the hell is even going to be able to get over to here? If logically we're the size of this, and this is like a cliff wall or something. If this is a 1 meter by 1 meter, or 2 meter by 2, I guess it depends really. 2 meter by 2 meters, and we're like the size of this. Does that mean this is 50 meters by 50 meters then? Because there's 25 blocks here. God, how big is everything then? Especially when we consider how big the house. Well, you don't take the house's size literally, because if you do that, then the houses are going to look like houses for giants, and that's not something you should be doing in general. I mean, I would say you could still at least take the island size literally, because this is kind of what the size of the island is. The amount of space we move between levels and in levels and whatnot. You could probably take that as gospel, I suppose. Which, of course, makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you? If I say that the size is what it is for most things, except for the over-exaggeration aspects of certain things, then the size is what it's supposed to be. In other words, the houses aren't that big, but the island itself is, if that's the clarification that you need. The houses are just there to... Imagine trying to build a house the size of this when you have 2 meter by 2 meter block to work with and have everything there. Doing that is a bit more of a complicated act for obvious reasons. That's not something you can do so easily without it looking like mush. I suppose I could find a way to make it, accurate. How would I showcase a window, though, is the question, because a window is not going to be 2 meters by 2 meters, especially if we showcase this. No matter what, the window would be 2 meters by 2 meters if that is the size that we have to work with. So I would argue that don't worry about the house's size being so off, because otherwise we'd live in a McMansion, which I guess technically the player does kind of live in a McMansion, I guess. It is bigger than all the other houses in general, so yeah. No reason not to assume that our player is a part of a rich family, but a good one that actively is trying to help out the people of the area. It's like can't really say much about it because it would be spoilers for the voice log stories and whatnot. Okay, I'm going to need everything to hide the damn ass so I know which one I'm working on. I should hide the things that I'm not working on. I don't know why I'm not doing that. Okay, I could probably put a nice bush here. Other than that, though, that seems to be it. for the time being, I don't know what more I could do on this side. We could do more stuff down here, though, that I didn't do for some reason. Like we put a nice bush right here. Put a nice round rock. It's unlikely that these are going to have too much going on in them. Because, like, you know, this would be left barren and empty. Unless you want to leave it empty for, like, you know, mountain purposes. We don't have to fill in every single space. I got to remember that is something that we can do. We don't have to fill in every single space. That's just the spaces that matter. Like this one would matter if we had worked on this. But the next set of levels that we're going to be working on is this one over here. So I guess that's what we're going to be doing next then, right? Level making? Oh, I look forward to it. Matter of fact, why don't I at least get the scene for its setup so you can see how I go about doing the scenes. I always preemptively get that set up so I don't have to worry about doing it later. It makes sense. All right, I need to grab... I think it's just going to be 3 and 0, right? Because this is that. The start of that. Oh, for crying out loud. 2 and 0. Okay, yeah, no, this should be easy then. 3 and 0. With 3 minutes. Go into our build setting. And we put level 11 in here. Boom. Yes, save. What do I plan on putting here? I mean, having a heavy emphasis on ice puzzles makes sense, right? With here, the only thing we really had access to emphasize was poison and water, and that we did at least twice with some crate puzzles and whatnot. Because that's what we're going to see. Some poison, some crate puzzles, some water. Ice will still be a basic factor, but, you know, it's not entirely the factor that of which we are too focused on at the moment. Now, once I can get this finished, I can probably decorate this a bit better. I know there's going to be a giant mountain here, so I got to get some stuff done with. But hey, I finally have at least this taken care of, which is great. So I think what I'm going to do is just leave ourselves on this. We'll call it there early. At least this way we know where things are supposed to be. Can we please stop? What is this? There we go. That's better. I'm going to put you somewhere here. I'm going to put you somewhere here. And then I'll just put you in the middle because face. No real reason. I just wanted to have that there to begin with. At least now we can start working on level 11. And I would say, just to give myself a reminder, I'm going to put an ice block right here. An even bigger face. So at least we know that this should be an ice level. Makes sense, right? Well, that's all the time I have for today. I gotta get other things worked on, including dinner. So with that being said, thank you all for watching today's episode of Game Crafters. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, check out their playlist, and of course, previous episode of Game Crafters right over here, and the most recent episode of Subnautica right over here, before the pain and misery set in. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Later.